Welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakenings Sunday morning service. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Can you feel the love of all who've gathered round? You are worthy of this gift of love right now. Whoever you are and wherever you're from, you are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Well, who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we knew. Now you know. Yes, we knew. Now you know. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Yes, we invite you to open up your heart this morning. Open up your heart and your mind. Be ready to receive the gift and be the gift that we're here to be in the world. We believe in God the good, by whatever name you call it, source, creator, universe, that which expressed out of itself and created all things. We believe that we're not separate from it ever, that we are one with this power and this presence. And although things go on in the world that do not look at first appearances like they're all good, we recognize there is an all good at the center of everything. There's a divine reality. And so when we say there's only God or there's only good or there's, we're not putting our heads in the sand. We are simply affirming the divine pattern of life that we want to see expressed through us. So having said all that, I invite you to sing along with me this morning. I'm going to pretend that you're right here. This is what we call a call and response. So I am expecting you to respond from wherever you're love streaming from this morning. And let's affirm some good. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. All is well. All is well in my world. Let's play some joy. All is joy in my world. All is joy in my world. All is joy in my world. All is joy. All is joy in my world. All is peace in my world. All right, and to remind us of that in a reading this morning from our prayer team, one of our prayer chaplains, Janice DaCosta.
Hi, and today's reading is Learning to Trust. See, I am God. See, I lead all things to the end that I ordained for them. By the same wisdom and love that I made them with, how should anything be amiss? Julian of Norwich. Jesus bade us to completely trust in God for everything and in every instance. He had a complete reliance upon God. Dare we say that such a confidence will be misplaced? Ernest Holmes. I often sit in my backyard watching squirrels at play. We have a lot of cats in our neighborhood, all of whom just love to hunt those juicy, saucy critters. Still, the squirrels play with total abandon, chasing each other through the grass and leaping outrageously from one impossible place to another. I am always delighted with their carefree behavior in a world where avoiding the predatory nature of cats can make their lives dangerous indeed. We humans sometimes become so focused on protecting ourselves and our belongings from possible dangers that we forget we can trust God to take care of us. Sometimes we lose the ability to play like those squirrels, carefree and joyful just to be alive. We may spend more time looking over our shoulders for the neighborhood cat than we do engaging in loving action with the world. Trusting in God is vital to our consciousness. If we can remember that we are the cherished expressions of the Most High God, perhaps we can also remember to trust that the universe is a friendly place. When situations threaten us, letting go and letting God take over is the smartest thing we can do. This isn't just a pious platitude. It is a definite spiritual principle that we can demonstrate time after time. Yes, trusting in God sometimes takes a leap of faith. But as the proverb says, when you leap, the net appears. So stop worrying about the neighborhood cat in whatever guise it may appear. Learn to trust in God and see how carefree your heart feels. And the affirmation is, I joyfully lean into God and know that I am guided, protected, and provisioned for every need. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. We love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of our prayer team. They are coming to us live every single day, in case you didn't know that, on our group page on Facebook. We have an official Facebook page, and then we have a CCSA community page. And we invite you to join that group. And every day you'll be blessed with a reading and a meditation, a prayer from someone on the prayer team. So thank you, Janice, for that this morning. We really appreciate you. We are yet again welcoming a special guest for music this morning. We're very blessed. I know a lot of musicians and a lot of musicians love Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. So we are very, very blessed this morning to have yet another talented musician. And I want to tell you a little bit about her. That's some of you know her well and some of you don't know her at all, which you need to fix that. Her name is Laura Berman. She lives in Portland, Oregon with her husband, Craig. I dearly love them. They're great, great people. But let me tell you a little bit about Laura from her bio. Singer-songwriter Laura Berman has reached acclaim for her soul-touching vocal and honest lyrical poetry. Her style and approach is reminiscent of the likes of Carole King and Carly Simon, with a passion that has known to lift folks off the ground. That's true. Laura has performed alongside Reverend Michael Beckwith at Agape International Spiritual Center with authors such as Neil Donald Walsh and Marianne Williamson, and she sang backup for Grammy Award winner Enya and the David Letterman Show. She is also a session singer and has a featured song in the children's film and accompanying soundtrack of Clifford's Really Big Movie. Laura just completed her 5th studio album, which we were so blessed to have a concert around that album last year. It's called Home. She released it last fall. It's fantastic. We love it. Now, what you might not know about Laura is she loves our community. She loves our community. She's part of our community more than you probably even know. She also loves bookkeeping and accounting. That was never something that came natural to me, but she loves it. She loves that behind-the-scenes stuff that helps an organization thrive. And whether you know it or not, she has been behind the scenes with us for quite some time as one of our staff who helps things run smoothly behind the scenes. And the deep love that she has for us, we reciprocate back to her. But I'll just tell you, like she has done so much above and beyond for this community. We are so grateful to have her this morning. I'm going to invite her now to join me in a time of prayer, meditation, and music.
Good morning, my CCSA family. I am so grateful to be here. Happy Sunday. So as we prepare our minds and our bodies, this vessel that houses the divine, we prepare ourselves to receive Reverend Christy's wisdom, any insights and inspiration that come just from us gathering together. Vibration of the music. Let's prepare ourselves. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I will be a living sanctuary for you. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, holy. I am tried and true. With thanksgiving, I will be a living sanctuary for you. And I am your sanctuary. I am yours, oh, and I am your sanctuary. I am yours, and now I am your sanctuary. I am yours now. I am your sanctuary. I am yours. So prepare me to be your sanctuary. I am pure, I am holy, I am tried and true, so true. With thanksgiving, I will be living sanctuary for you. With thanksgiving, I will be a living sanctuary for you.
And so I breathe into the perfection of this moment. I'm open to be a living sanctuary for the divine presence. I am open right here and right now to live and breathe with the conscious awareness of that breath, that intention to be a living sanctuary. I am open to the awareness, to the knowing that I am one with the one that created me, and I move in this life from that point of awareness, and with each moment I bring myself back to that awareness with the breath. And so right here, right now, I claim for each of us an openness and a receptivity to be who we came here to be, to express from the soul of who we are, the substance of the soul, our essential nature, unafraid, unapologetic, dancing in union with the divine. And so I say thank you, beloved Creator. Thank you, God. Thank you for all that I am, for all that I am here to be, to reveal, to express. And so I know for each of us this morning at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening and all of our friends and for this world, that we are divine beings expressing uniquely and perfectly, and we just let that be the truth and let it shine. I'm here to be all I'm here to be. I am ready. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I'm coming out of this long night's journey into the day. I'm not afraid anymore to look in the mirror. Wipe all the tears off of my face, and sadness fades. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. Too many years I spent putting square pegs in circular holes. I didn't know myself, but why would I come here to live a life stuck in a mold and be bought and sold? Well, I am ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am, the I am. I am 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 the I am. The I am. Well, there's no greater feeling than loving myself, body and soul, and as a creation, perfect, perfect and whole, in loving flow. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am ready to be. I am ready to be who I came here, who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. I'm the I am. I'm the I am. I'm the I am. I am the I am. Am the I am. I 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 am. I am the I am. I am the I am. I am the I am. And I'm ready to be what I came here, what I came here to be, everything that I am.
Thank you, Laura Berman. Wow. Whew. I texted her the other day and I was like, okay, I'm in tears again listening to your music. Those two songs really just take me there. Sanctuary and Everything That I Am. Thank you, Laura. Let's hear some of those lyrics again. Everything that I am, everything I am. I'm coming out of this long night's journey into the day, not afraid anymore to look in the mirror. Ready to be who I came here to be. Ready to be everything that I am. And then, of course, prepare me to be a sanctuary, a living sanctuary. You know, I've heard it said that the longest journey is from the head to the heart. And then this morning I was thinking actually another long journey is to the mirror with love. Being all that I'm here to be, not afraid anymore to look in the mirror, to love what we see there. That's one of the longest journeys that we have. And when we can do that, well, I should say until we do that, we're shutting off the divine flow. We're shutting off the divine flow and all the things that we could be causing in the world individually and collectively. And so I think about that, and I think of our dear, sweet Melissa Summerlin, sharing with permission, by the way. She was in my Living in Solution class last year, but she was also in the one a few years back. And in that first Living in Solution class, she came into class and she was a bit guarded, you know. She's a soldier, that one, and she knows how to handle business. But she came into class and she was a bit guarded, as she would admit. And we started talking about loving ourselves. And I said, yeah, you know, one exercise you could do is look yourself in the mirror every day and say, I love you. And she went, I'm not doing that. And I was like, why not? She goes, I don't look in the mirror. I'm like, your hair is perfect. Like all the time, you have it just right, how you like it. So how do you do that without looking in the mirror? She goes, oh, I look at my hair, but I don't look at the rest of me. And my heart just like burst open. I wanted to just, I think I did get up and hug her. Like, girl, come on now. She said, I don't want to see myself. Now, since then, so much has changed. So much has changed. She's now looking in the mirror. She during that class, or maybe shortly thereafter, she started looking in the mirror when she got ready in the morning. Now, that may sound like a simple thing, but that's a huge thing, because we have to be able to be at peace and at home with our soul, with who we are and who we're here to be, right? And so now, fast forward some years, and man, Melissa is thriving. I could not be happier for this woman. She's amazing. Her life is just fantastic. She loves her job. She loves her home. She's getting a new home that she's going to love even more. She loves her car. She loves her friends. She loves her life. And she looks herself in the mirror. She's loving herself. You see, when we are holding on to, excuse me, to unworthiness or lack of self-love, that's toxic to the soul. I was listening to one of my teachers, Sheikh Kabir Hominsky, the other day, and he talked about how breath is essential for life, but have you thought about the fact that the awareness of the breath is the substance of the soul? The essential nature of our soul is that awareness of our breath, the awareness of our breath. And I'm getting back to the toxins of our soul here in just a minute, but the awareness of our breath is spirit. It's the essence of who we are. You see, the Latin word for spirit is spiritus, and that means to breathe. So that takes us back to the root of breathe is spire. So are we here to, spire like inspire or expire? Are we here to inspire or expire? Are we here to hold our breath, hold off spirit, or breathe into life and let life breathe through us? You see, he goes on to talk about how we can create soul immunity. That's what he calls it, soul immunity, to relieve us of the soul toxins of unworthiness and negativity and old patterns, not good enough and stuff like that. But first, let's talk about getting to that point. He says, bringing conscious awareness and an open heart to each breath is how we start with creating this soul immunity. He says, bringing conscious awareness and an open heart to each breath creates emptying of the distractions of worry and doubt and fear and old habits. And that takes us to being receptive, because when we empty out, if you have a container and it's full of stuff, you can't put more into it. So if it's full of negativity and worry and distraction and fear and anger and all this stuff, you can't put the good in. So as we empty out, then that leads us to being receptive to the inflow, to the breath, to the essence of who we are and why we're here, and to that spirit of life moving through us, and to being open to the vitality of life and being guided by it. And that's getting into that essence of who we are, that substance of the soul, living from that place. He went on to talk about a suggested practice. He suggested reading the last 3 surahs, or chapters of the Quran. He said the 3 are this. If you break them down into, just everyday language, the 3 would translate to this. 1 is the affirmation of non-duality. Only one divine reality, only one power and presence, only one loving creator, one. And the second one is taking refuge from he called it the mischief of others. How about the misgivings of others, the unskilled actions of others? Taking refuge in the knowing that there's only one. Taking refuge in that non-dual knowing that there is one divine reality allows us refuge from the mischief of others. And 3, he says that's where we can also take refuge from the negativity and the whisperings of others, but also of ourselves. Take refuge from the whisperings of negativity from ourselves when we realize that there's only one. Because if that's true, then, and it is, then we know it's moving through everything, and that includes us. So again, this leads us to this soul work, this soul immunity, immune from not being worthy, not being good enough, immune from the whisperings of negativity within or without. This helps us breathe into life, right? It helps us breathe into life to remember that there's one power, one presence. It's God the good, by whatever name we give it. It helps us breathe into life, not hold our breath. It helps us live to inspire, not live waiting to expire. I've had some had some friends pass in the last week. Some wonderful people, Dan Monty and Karen and Nance McCarr, and friends of mine I love dearly. And I was part of Karen's celebration of life the other day, and her friend Todd told this story. I didn't realize this about Karen. She loved marbles, and she would give marbles away. Now, I'm not sure about all of the ways that she used marbles in her life, but I'm going to tell you the story that Todd shared during the celebration of life. He said that a man woke up one day to realize, it's time I start living. He added up, the average expectancy of a person. I think he said 75 years. I'm going for 112 personally, but he added up the average life expectancy, and then he subtracted how much he'd already lived, and then he said, okay, that leaves me with X amount, and in his case, it was 1,000 Saturdays. 1,000 Saturdays left in this life, hypothetically, he says. So how do I want to live them? I want to live them aware and conscious and having adventure and having joy and having fun and connecting with people I love. I want to do it coming from the substance of my soul. Well, maybe he didn't say that, but you can imagine that's what he's going for, right? And so he went out and he bought marbles. He bought out several different stores of marbles until he had 1,000 marbles, and he put them in a jar, a big jar, I imagine. And every Saturday, he would give a marble away. Every Saturday, he would give a marble away, and he would watch the marbles go down. Now, this may sound morbid, but I think it's freeing, actually. I think it's inspiring. I think it's an amazing reminder to cherish and to remember that we are cherished, to cherish life and remember that we are cherished expressions of the divine in this life, to remember how important it is. As my friend Karen and my friend Dan they both lived in such joy. They were the smiles of those two people. They didn't know each other, but they would have liked each other. The smiles of those two people lit up any room. The love, they were there to be that love. When we're living from the substance of our soul, we are showing up to be that love. But it starts, we have to have the love for ourselves, the love for our divine creator, the love for life. Last week I talked about having an intimate relationship with life, but we have to have, that includes having that intimate relationship with ourselves and with the divine. Having self-love, self-care, making that a priority. Is it your priority? It is deepening your roots, your connection to source. Is that important? Is that a priority for you? Look at your life and see how much time you're spending on that. That's how you know. Do you take time every day to be in prayer meditation, to be in contemplation of the good? Or are you spending it in worry and negativity and the whisperings that aren't serving you, that are toxic? Are you living in joy, having adventures? I have more adventures now than I've ever had in my life, but there's still way more ready to happen, and that's largely because of my wife. She loves adventures, and I promised her after hearing that marble story, we're going to have a lot more. But are you living your life connecting to others, having joy, having adventure, having self-love, having love exude from you? This emptying out and filling back in, letting life be a reciprocal dance. It's like breathing, right? Release and then allow in. That's what we do when we're doing our spiritual mind treatment, which is our affirmative prayer. We're releasing. We sometimes call it denials when we say, I know this condition is not the truth of me, or I know this situation has no power over me. We're releasing. And then we are embracing, we're affirming the truth of who we are, embracing and affirming that. Our work in this beautiful Science of Mind teaching, that one of the most powerful pieces of our work is to use this tool of treatment, spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, using that and understanding that it's not about, when we talk about this, it's not about just saying hopeful words or holding a good thought. It's about actually engaging the law of mind action. It's putting the law, the spiritual laws that govern the universe. We are in co-creation with that, and we are putting it into action in our lives through our thoughts and our feeling nature. In practitioner class last week, we focused on a book by Dr. Ernest Holmes, who founded this teaching. It's a tiny little book. It's called How to Use the Science of Mind. It's a powerful, powerful book, and I love it so much. But I remember on page 11, he says, this is not holding thought. It's not holding thought. What we're doing here in affirmative prayer and treatment, we're not holding thought. We are letting loose our thoughts into the law. So we're not holding energy, we're moving energy. We're engaging it. We're not willing something, coercing something to happen. The only will that's involved really is keeping our thoughts clear. What we're doing is knowing a thing and living from that knowing. Living from that knowing that we are connected to the one that created us, that when we breathe in, that we're breathing in and from the substance of our soul, from spirit moving through us. In the Science of Mind reading today in the magazine, there was a story about the squirrels and how they playfully jump from one thing to another and how they just seem to be outrageously jumping from one impossible limb to the next and encouraging us to be that carefree. We have one that every day he hangs upside down and eats all the birdseed out of my bird feeder. I used to be upset by it. Now I find him quite amusing. And so are we being in life in that way, with this carefree abandon, or are we so worried and so closed down that we're not taking a chance on life because we're not trusting? You see, that trust is vital. That trusting in our Creator, that trusting in Source, that's vital to our consciousness, to our life. And also vital is to know that we are cherished expressions of the Most High, cherished expressions. Who and how you are is perfect, and it's important. If no one told you that already, hear it now. Who and how you are is important, it's perfect, it's needed. You are a cherished individual. You are a cherished soul, loved and appreciated by the Creator. And so this one power, this one presence, that's all there is. It's all there is. It's all there is. It's only God. It's only God. It's only God. But you see, we forget that. We forget to trust in this divine nature. We forget that because we often fall into believing in duality. But you see, we can't feel safe when we are giving power to an idea of evil. We have to trust in the divine plan, in the divine pattern, let's say, the divine reality, that center of all being. But when we give our power away, we lose that trust, we lose that connection. But let's go back to it. One power, one presence, created everything out of itself. But we created the idea that God had an opposing power. And yet we say, God is omnipotent, God is omniscient, God is omnipresent. Omni means all, omni means everywhere. So which one is it? Is this divine source everywhere? Or is there a power that's evil that can oppose it? Now I can hear you through the live stream right now. I can hear you saying, yeah, but wait a second, what about all those terrible things in the world? And there are some terrible things that we see, I get that. Some things that we definitely call terrible things in the world. Now what about those? Well, guess what? There's a power. It's for good, and it moves through this universe. There's a power for good in the universe, and you can use it, Dr. Ernest Holmes said. But we were also so fortunate, so blessed that we were given free will, and so we get to choose if we're going to use this power intelligently or unintelligently. So the things that we call evil, that we call terrible, that is someone using their free will unintelligently and engaging this law of mind action that works without playing favorites. It just works. It's like a computer, input, output, our predominant feeling, thinking nature, input, output. So it's working even when someone is using it unintelligently. But that goes back to last week when I was talking about the tipping point. If more of us come together and make it a point to live from the substance of our soul and live from that connection of knowing that we are one and that we are a co-creative force to be reckoned with, then we build this tipping point that creates the collective consciousness. Last week I also talked about that we could get bitter or we could get better, right? And I left you with that idea of a paradox. But wait, you told me to surrender to what is, and yet you're telling me to be dedicated to the best version of myself, the better me. So here's the thing. Your essential nature is already as better of your best as it's going to be. It's already there. So it's really less about becoming and more about revealing. It's all about how much we are allowing the substance of our soul to flow through, how much we're allowing that expression to come through, how much we are identifying with the true, the divine reality, not the small letter reality. That's how we define, that's how we distinguish it. The capital R reality is that there's a power and a presence for good, and it moves through all things, connecting all things. The small little r is what we call the effect. In land of cause and effect, we call the effect, that's things that show up in our world that are the outpicturing of our thoughts and our feelings, individually and collectively. So individually, it is a time, it's a time collectively and individually for deepening, for stretching our roots, our connection to our Creator, for stretching into and revealing and expressing all that we're meant to be, to lift off and soar. I'm thinking Laura Berman songs again right now. She has a song called Roots that I love so much. Oh, she starts playing it and I start to cry. It's a thing with a lot of her songs. But it says, feed my soul. Deeper than I've ever known, this roots me down. This connection, it roots me down. If you're not rooted down, if you're not having soul immunity, it's because you've filled up with soul toxins and it's time to empty those out. And we do that through letting go of the whisperings of negativity from self and others. We do that by coming back to the substance of who we are, the essence of who we are. We do that by engaging this law of mind action positively in our lives and in our world. Another song called Lift Off. Laura says, grow to know a better me. I'm ready to grow to know a better me. That's what we're talking about. Grow to know the better me that already exists. When we do that, we lift off and we soar. We fly. And as we do that individually, we do that collectively because we're part of this bigger picture. We're part of this greater whole. You know, since I'm talking about roots, I think back to camping in the redwoods out in California. Oh, it's majestic. It's magic. I love it so much. These trees are so ancient and so huge. And I remember being at this campground and getting ready to set up my tent, and the ranger came around and he said, oh, no, you can't put your tent there. And I was like, what? But I'm at the foot of a redwood tree. Who wouldn't want to do that? He said, you don't understand. It's we need to preserve the redwoods. I'm thinking, this tree's as big as a house. What am I doing to hurt this tree? And he said, it's okay. A lot of people don't understand that redwood trees have the smallest roots. Now we're talking the biggest trees, right? Some of the biggest trees in the world have the smallest roots, but they have the most roots. So they don't go down far, but they spread wide. So I'm encouraging us to dig deep and stretch deep and wide. The way that they weave together and stretch wide, they form like a community of roots. That's what we are. We're a community of roots, of like-minded individuals here to create a world that works for everyone, here to be the change we wish to see, here to create a world by being different in it, create it differently by being different in it, that weaving that community of roots that hold up a big vision. That's what we're being called to do when we live from the substance of our soul. We're doing that. So take your conscious awareness of your breath, your open heart, and take that into life. Trust in the intelligence and the love of the one that created you. Know it's moving through you. It's moving through all of life, connecting us, holding up a bigger vision. Allow that to come through. Live from the substance of your soul, your essential nature, not the personality, the ideas like I talked about last week, the stories of that we've made up that's important. No, what's important is the essence, the breath of who we are, the spirit of who we are, spirit of that essential soul. So say with me, I am ready to be who I came here to be. I am ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be all that I am and do the work that needs to be done by me. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be all that I am and do the work that is meant to be done by me. And so it is.
Allowing our roots to be nourished by the fertile soil. Yeah. There's a deepening, no need for words. Still inside life is safe and grand and good. Feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it's deeper than I have ever known. Well, here I am found, now till ever after, and this love is but a sound. It roots me down, yeah. Your love roots me down. Ooh, oh. Well, I was a fallen one. Now that's a way that won't work. No, it won't work. Still I am holding on. I'm holding on through all the hurts. I am holding on. I've seen the fork in the road, yeah. I won't split my time anymore. Feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it's deeper than I have ever known. It's deeper. Well, here I am found, now till ever after, and this love is but a sound. It roots me down, yeah. Your love, it roots me down, and the root grows me together. Root is mine forever and ever and ever. Oh, feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it is deeper than I have ever, ever, ever known. Well, here I am found, now till ever after, and this love is but a sound. Your love, it roots me down, yeah, yeah. Your love, it roots me down. You root me, you root me down. Your love, and your love, your love, your love, it roots me down. And the root grows me together. And the root is mine forever and ever. We can also fly with our sturdy roots supporting us. Just when I take a step outside, the rain, it catches me with no warning. Right before liftoff, what was once light and airy can't catch my breath, pour sweet and airy, for the weight on my body. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside, bring me to a new divide. empty spaces. No matter how many times on this flight I can barely get the height. Now I wanna soar with clean traces. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me, a better me. And this time I will lift off and fly. I will lift off and fly. Me and the time we made quite a pair, and it's a solo flight with the wind in my hair. There's a quiet line between me and the air, and I like it, I like it, I like it here, yeah. I like it here, oh, I like it here. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me, better me. And this time I will lift off. And this time I will lift off, lift off, lift off and fly. I will lift off and fly. I will lift off and fly. Oh, I will fly high. Mwah.
Hi, my name is Janice DaCosta, and I'm doing a prosperity share on being vulnerable. So last year, I took the prosperity class with Reverend Christy Snow, and one of my affirmative prayers was that I wanted more exposure and to do things outside of my comfort zone to build my business, my passion work. So fast forward a few weeks ago, I was approached to do a radio interview to promote my business. Never done a radio interview before, completely outside of my comfort zone, and I was excited but mortified. I was so afraid of, and not only did they want to do a radio interview, but they wanted to do a video interview. So I was fearful, I was panicked. So I had to I accepted the radio interview, of course, because I always told myself that I would never turn anything down over fear. So I had a few weeks to actually sit in this and, play with it and, actually drill down, looking at how would it feel like if I wasn't fearful. And it brought up excitement. Like I get to share my gifts and talents with the world. Everything I asked for, everything my affirmative prayer was about. So, and then I just had to meditate on faith, just trusting that, God didn't bring me this far to leave me. He's with me, every step of the way, just building on what it feels like without the fear and just building on my faith. And then the day came for the interview, and I was so nervous before the interview, and I just kept sitting in, I kept replaying it. I just kept replaying my lines. What does it feel like without this? Excitement. I get to do what I love and share it with the world. And, just saying to myself, everywhere I step, a rock appears. And then showtime came. And when the mic hit, when he said record, it was like the fear and everything went away, and it was just flowing, and it was beautiful. I was sharing my gifts and talents with the world, and I was vibing with the radio interviewer, and it was such a powerful and meaningful experience to myself, because I showed myself that, when you cancel out fear and really drill down to, why you're doing something and what it feels like to do whatever it is that you love to do, that cancels out the fear, and it just really builds on your faith and allows you to be vulnerable and share that with the world. So that was such a meaningful experience to me. That was truly prosperity, because I feel that really conditioned me for the next step and the next step, and it's just building on that by trusting. Just putting your faith, in God, and trusting and allowing yourself to be vulnerable is actually built up my confidence. So with that, all I can say is, can you say prosperity? Love you guys. Bye.
Yay. Thank you so much, Janice. Man, she just keeps inspiring us to stay open and stay in the flow, doesn't she? That was awesome. And so we want to also thank, of course, Laura Berman. Thank you so much for being here today. We love you so, so, so much. And if you want to show Laura some love, you can I encourage you to go to laurabermanmusic.com. You can buy her CDs there. You can email her and tell her how wonderful she is. You can keep up with all of the things she has going on. So thank you, Janice, and thank you, Laura. Let's affirm our kids. What we want our kids to know is that, kids, we miss you, first of all, but also we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way you are, no matter what. Now, as we move into a time of conscious giving, where we give of our time and our talent, and in this case, our treasure, we give back to the divine by giving to this community, if you feel so led. And if we do, as you're doing that, I encourage you to do it with this conscious giving affirmation in your heart. Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. So hold that good in your life as we join together and sing this chant. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Grateful, grateful, I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I'm so grateful, 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 I am grateful. Thinking about all the things that we're grateful for, I'm reminded of two amazing civil rights leaders that we lost last week. And that's Representative John Lewis and C.T. Vivian. We just are so grateful for all the work that they did and all the good trouble. Thank you. So for all of those out there inspiring us to be better, to do better, to make a better world, we say thank you, especially to these two. Grateful, grateful, I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I'm so grateful. And now I think of each and every one of you that I love so dearly, and I look at you and I say, I am grateful for you. Grateful, grateful, And so in this energy of gratitude, I speak this word of thanksgiving. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. Thank you, God, for people like Representative John Lewis, for people like C.T. Vivian, for those inspiring us to live our best lives and create the best world possible. Thank you. Thank you for this truth that leads to a peace that we can live from, that passes any understanding, and that absolutely emits from us and changes the world continually, evolving us all for our better and our better and our better. Thank you, God, for the good. Thank you for this community, for all of our blessings. We are so grateful. And so it is. So I hope you're noticing the announcements today. Make a note. We're joining together in a community Zoom right after this. So join us for our community Zoom. We want to see you. Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. Wherever you stand, be the love of that place. Wherever you stand, reflect the wholeness of the holy. For the love of all that's holy. The love of all that's holy. For the love, the truth, and the holy, for this I stand. Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. Wherever you stand, be the love of that place. Wherever you stand, reflect the wholeness of the holy. For the love of all that's holy. The love, the truth, and the holy, for this I stand. For the love of all that's holy. Holy, holy, holy. For the love of all that's holy. Holy, holy, holy. I stay. With you, I stay. Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. I stand. So stand with us right now as we join together. Stand figuratively or literally. Stand with us and join in our closing song. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let bless you and we thank you. Have a fantastic week, y'all.